Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Nut Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. This episode, I'm going to be discussing soul ties. This will be one of 3-part series on soul ties with the narcissist or other toxic people in your lives. But before I start, can I just remind you all, please, if you like any of my videos, please remember to like them, subscribe to the channel, and if you've got anything to say, put it in the comments. All right, so let's jump straight into it. So part 1 is going to be what is soul ties. Part 2 will be about the different techniques that we can use to actually cut soul ties. And part 3 will be how I went. So some feedback on the different techniques. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I, like a lot of people who've come out of relationships with narcissists, still feel some residual kind of connection with them or with him that I do not want to have. And I don't want to have it because this is what makes me vulnerable. This is what makes you vulnerable. This is what kind of gives them the opportunity to swing back around, to to keep that kind of foot in the back door. And I do not want him to have that opportunity. And I don't want to fall for any of his lies and bullshit ever again. So, what is a soul tie? For those of you who don't know, there's a couple of things. We call them soul ties or karmic bonds. There's a few kind of terms depending on what religion you're a part of or what your spiritual beliefs are. But essentially, what it is a spiritual connection, or a soul connection between you and the narcissist or whoever, that is formed over time and intensity of the relationship. And obviously we know that narcissists use trauma as part of their way of bonding you to them. So it makes sense that a lot of us will have these kind of residual bonds with them. And the kind of thing that I'm talking about is, for example, you might be able to quite literally feel them when they're thinking about you, feel them when they're nearby or when they're, stalking you on social media. You can feel them. And it's not a good thing. Like, we don't want to be thinking about them. We don't want to feel that they're lurking. We don't want to have anything to do with them. So I'm going to research all the different ways that we can cut these ties or these karmic bonds. And like I said, and I'll upload the different techniques, and then I'm going to give them a whirl and see how we go. Because I, for one, do not want any connection at all with someone who is only going to harm me. And that's the reality. Often people get confused between, these kind of trauma bonds and soul connection. They get confused and they start thinking, oh, that must mean he's my soulmate. That must mean he's my twin flame. Yeah, no, it doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that, that there's been a huge impact on your life and that there's been a connection between the two of you. But it doesn't mean that he's good for you. It doesn't mean that if you get back together again, that things will be fine. What will happen is you'll have the same shit happen all over again, just a different day, different lounge room. So bear that in mind if you're thinking about going back. These feelings that you're having are just residue. Okay, they're just something left over from what was before. It doesn't mean that what you have is worth hanging on to. It doesn't mean that he's your soulmate. It doesn't mean that you guys are supposed to be together or that you're twin flames. It doesn't mean any of that. Okay, it just means you need to do some work. All right, darlings. So thank you for joining me. And like I said, there'll be 2 more videos to come after this. So keep an eye out. All right, lovelies. Bye.